Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a new episode of Explore and Engage with Anam. My friends, I am restless right now. That's how I can describe my state of mind. And I have been restless for many days. And I'm not the only one. There are millions of other restless minds around the world. My friends, I was born and raised in Bangladesh, which is a country in Asia. Many years ago, I left Bangladesh to come to the United States of America as an immigrant, and now I'm a proud American citizen. But I remember the land in which I was born. I remember the land in which I was raised. And so I remember the streets of the city of Dhaka city. That's where I was born and raised. And I remember everything about Bangladesh. I remember the city. I remember the country. I remember the seasons. I remember everything. And I can tell you one thing, that in each and every corner of Bangladesh, there are people with hopes and dreams. There are people with hopes and dreams. There are people looking for a brighter future, a better life. But the Awami League government, and that's the government, that's the political party in power right now, the Awami League government, the government has taken away from the people. They have taken away the freedom to pursue hopes and dreams. And so the people of Bangladesh are suffering right now. And finally, a new generation of freedom fighters has emerged. Young students are fighting for freedom. Young students, teenagers, people in their 20s, they are fighting against the extremely corrupt and brutal regime that is the Awami League government. The momentum of this movement is gaining strength. People from all across Bangladesh joined the students. And so now it's the freedom-loving people of Bangladesh versus the tyrannical Awami League government. And I will tell you that it really breaks my heart to watch the video clips and the images of what's going on in Bangladesh right now and what's been going on for the last several days. The same roads on which I traveled, the same streets that I saw growing up, those roads and those streets are now full of blood of freedom fighters. Hundreds, perhaps thousands, have been killed by the brutal Awami League regime in matter of days. But the bullets cannot stop the freedom-loving people of Bangladesh. The bullets cannot stop the freedom fighters of Bangladesh. Each and every day, they are gaining more strength, and their willingness to fight for freedom continues to grow. And they know that there is no turning back. The peaceful protesters, the freedom-loving people of Bangladesh, the freedom fighters, they know that there is no turning back. And I have seen video clips, and I have seen images of innocent people being attacked by the Awami League's government, Awami League government's forces and their student wing known as Chhatra League. I have seen how the government's forces have attacked the innocent people, the innocent protesters. Let me talk to you about Abu Sayeed, a young man who spread his arms fearlessly in front of the police, in front of the police force of the brutal Awami League regime. Abu Sayeed, he was a peaceful protester. And I'm sure that Abu Sayeed believed in a brighter future. I'm sure that he believed that tyranny will come to an end. And that's why he could spread his arms like a bird spreading its wings, ready to fly, ready to embrace freedom, perhaps. Abu Sayeed, a freedom-loving man, he was a peaceful protester, and the police force of the Awami League regime, they shot and killed Abu Sayeed. Let me tell you about Mir Mugdho. I saw video clips of Mir Mugdho, a bright young man who was supposed to have a long life ahead of him. Mir Mugdho was distributing bottles of water to the freedom fighters of Bangladesh. His eyes were burning, and I saw the video clips. I've seen the images. Mir Mugdho on the streets of Bangladesh with his eyes burning because of the tear gas. And the tear gas was deployed by the government of Bangladesh. So Mir Mugdho, out on the streets, he was distributing bottles of water to the freedom fighters of Bangladesh, and even as his eyes burned, he continued to ask people if they needed water. Mir Mugdho was out there asking people, do you need water? Water to quench your thirst, water to wash the burning eyes. Mir Mugdho was asking, do you need water? Water is life. There is no life without water. And Mir Mugdho was out on the streets distributing bottles of water to the peaceful protesters. And he too was shot and killed by the brutal Awami League regime. There are many other freedom fighters who took their last breath on the roads and streets of Bangladesh. Some were killed by the police of Bangladesh. Some were killed by the military of Bangladesh. Some were killed by the Awami League government's brutal student wing, Chhatro League. Evil comes in many forms. And that's not all. There are many innocent protesters who are now behind bars. They have been arrested. Police arrested them. And their families are searching for them. Many families are searching for their loved ones who were arrested by the government's forces. Peaceful protesters, they were just peacefully protesting, asking for their rights, asking for a better future, asking for a corruption-free Bangladesh. And they were arrested. Many have been tortured. Many people continue to be tortured. Many people continue to be arrested. The organizers of the peaceful protest, many of them were picked up by police, and they were forced to give a statement while in police custody. It's unbelievable what's going on in Bangladesh. It is unbelievable. But I can tell you that the freedom fighters continue. They continue to move forward in spite of all the attacks, in spite of all the brutality, in spite of all the challenges. The freedom fighters of Bangladesh, they continue to move forward for a better future, for a better Bangladesh. The Awami League government continues to move forward also with all its evil plans. But I know that the power of truth is much greater than the weapons of the evil. The fight continues. I am confident that the brutal Awami League regime will come to an end and truth and justice will prevail. The Bangladeshis are fighting for freedom. Unarmed, they continue to fight for freedom, while the armed forces of the Awami League government continue to launch their attacks. But as I said, the power of truth is much greater than the weapons of the evil. My friends, I know that truth and justice will definitely prevail. So join me in praying for the safety of the peaceful protesters. Join me in praying for those in Bangladesh who are fighting for freedom. Let us also pray for the departed souls. Let us pray for all those who lost their lives in Bangladesh. It is heartbreaking to see how the Awami League regime killed hundreds, but I think the real number is in the thousands. The Awami League government, in a matter of days, killed many people, and that's why I say that they are mass murderers. It's a brutal regime. But I know that truth and justice will prevail, and the freedom-loving people of Bangladesh will win, and the Awami League government, this brutal regime, will be defeated. Thank you for listening, my friends. Go to my website, tosifanam.net. Share with me your thoughts. You can connect with me on Facebook, on Instagram, on X, and also on Truth Social. Connect with me, share with me your thoughts, and I'll be back again. Thank you.